This episode is presented by Anchor Branding.
I can take a punch. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. I'll see you, Mr. Big Time Coach. Bye-bye. I'm not like my old man. I'm a kind and gentle, compassionate human being with a heart as big as a lion. We'll see you later, Juice Box. Everyone wave goodbye to Juice Box. Literally wave. Do it. Parents too. Everyone wave. Okay. Guys, I only want winners out on the field. Who's a winner? I said, who's a winner? Everyone's hand should be up.
I am.
Okay, everyone bring it in. Who are we?
Tigers.
What?
Tigers.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. Let's go.
So I did a little research. This movie is the one and only time that Judd Apatow ever produced a kids movie.
Really?
And it makes me sad because this movie rocks. And I feel like School of Rock is a little bit in the same category where it's a kids movie with like Mike White wrote it, Jack Black's the star. We just didn't really get very many like that where they're a family-friendly, really funny movie. Instead, it felt like it was more attractive to do the R-rated comedy and do Anchorman and Step Brothers and all that kind of stuff. But like the fact that Will Ferrell and Judd Apatow could have made this type of movie over and over again could have given us just an arsenal of kids movies, and it would have put all the junky stuff that people show to kids now to death because you could just show something actually hilarious.
This movie is an old Brock family favorite.
Mm-hmm. Same.
We would watch this a lot as a kid growing up. My family loved it. I see why it's not a classic. It should not have been forgotten because it is great. I think it's its best when it lets Will Ferrell go full tilt Will Ferrell.
Right.
There's a couple of times where he's kind of trying to be the straight man.
So that's
Phil.
I had the same thought. I can't think of another movie where one character is both the straight man and the clown in the same movie because of this like transformation that he goes through.
Yeah. In the beginning, he's set up to be this goofy loser.
Well, and it kind of sets it up to where the world is just silly around him and he's reacting to the world where like, you know, the lady pulls into the parking spot and like cuts him off and makes fun of his car. And he's kind of like, oh, well.
Yeah.
But then the world starts reacting to him. I feel like that's not the structure that you really ever see.
Right.
Okay, let's hit some segments. Let's do Doppelganger. So we're going to sub out one character from this movie with another character from another movie that shares the same actor. So it feels like we're talking about Will Ferrell. Robert Duvall is on the table. Josh Hutcherson is on the table. But if your goal is to make the movie better, funnier, more entertaining, who are you going with?
So, yes, those are clearly the big three. I did toy with the idea a little bit of making Mr. Mosby a little switch out from Sweet Life.
Because he's just like a lot zanier as that parent.
Really. Yeah. Well, I was like, what if he was the assistant coach before Ditka? Mr. Mosby was
that's fun.
With the team.
Do a little rewrite.
What I'd really like to do that I think would make the movie more fun. Josh Hutcherson's character in this movie.
You're making PETA?
He's just a little kid, and he's not really all that mean, and he's not all that funny.
I remember him being in this movie way more. He
Yeah,
has like 2
he's
lines.
not in this movie at all.
Yeah.
So I want let's keep him the same age, but they make the joke in the beginning when they're both born that Robert Duvall's character is like just a little bit bigger, and he's like good at sports and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's replace him with his character from RV.
Okay.
So he
a little bit more wisecracking.
a little bit older and bigger. We can say he's the same age, but he's
like Ambrose's size.
He's like Ambrose's size. He's bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
And he is a little bit more of a wannabe jock white guy. He's wearing the sweatbands.
Oh yeah.
He's a little bit
Doesn't
more
he wear
like
like do-rags in that movie?
Not do-rags, but he does wear baggy clothes.
Okay.
My scene I'm picturing in that movie is when he's got his headphones in and he's curling his weights in the back of the RV and he's singing "White Boys Make Some Noise." Just a little bit more of like an actual bully.
Yeah.
But you still kind of like him you still kind of root for him. He's not like a villain arc. I think that would make it a little bit funnier, his dynamic with Sam. And I want more scenes with him and Will Ferrell interacting as these brothers.
Where they're more equals.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun.
That's what I think.
That's a good change. I feel like that would make the movie more fun. Mine would throw the movie for a loop a bit, but I think in a good way. So have you seen the movie The Internship?
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's cameo in that movie where he's the mattress salesman with the neck tattoo and just literally an insane, he's like, you know what this says? Points to his neck tattoo. Make reasonable choices. So I want to sub that guy in for Phil and basically make Phil an actual kind of loser. Like this Phil is just kind of a normal guy.
Yeah.
In this, I feel like Phil is, in my new version, Phil's going to be a little bit more of a deadbeat. Maybe he just found out about his kid or something like that. And he's like trying to bond with him. Doesn't really know how to do that. Reconnects with his dad, but he has this past kind of grudge with him. So we're going a little bit dingier with it. It's not going to be quite as wholesome, but I think that there could be some great Will Ferrell outburst, kind of just crazy man. And then we lose the straight man Will Ferrell in the beginning, and he's just a kind of maniac all the way through. And then he learns in the end what it's all about.
To be a better dad.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it'd be funny. It would totally change the vibe of this movie.
Yeah. Let's hit some quick hitters. Should have been iconic. What quotes from this movie should have entered the zeitgeist?
Fartface Jones should have just been way more used.
Yeah, that's good.
That should have been way more rampant.
Yeah.
In middle school and high school.
Yeah. I like, you can call me Chief.
Okay. So I mentioned before this movie is a like family staple for my family growing up. I forgot. Again, it's been probably 10 years since I've seen this movie. I didn't realize how much of this movie just lives in my everyday vocabulary. And I kind of forgot until the scene would come up and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's why I say that.
Yeah.
Like certain just kind of jokes or responses or quips I have just used so much they've become common language to me. And rewatching this, I was like, oh, that's why I, tell someone you shut up in there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I forgot that's the scene in the backyard or something.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah. Anyway, it just
that's funny.
Is very much a part of my speak, and I forgot.
Yeah, it's easy to forget.
The other line that I think people should use more is, hey, you take it easy on that corduroy jacket.
Yes, I had that too. It's so funny. Anytime someone's wearing a corduroy jacket, just throw that at them.
Any jacket at all,
just
would work.
I like after he sews the suit, some of the cool stuff I can do.
Yeah. That's just some of the cool stuff I could do.
I feel like that's so easy. Like anytime someone compliments you and you're feeling a little awkward about it, just some of the cool stuff I can do.
Pass the ball to the Italians should have become like a regular sports term amongst teams. It's like if you have a star player, get the ball to the Italians.
Yeah. I feel like there's some things from this movie that it's like odd that it did catch on as kind of a zeitgeist thing. I remember it being kind of a joke through like middle and high school. Anytime you're doing like an introduction, people saying, my name is Byung Song and I'm a very kind person. All right, let's hit rabbit hole. So rabbit hole, call out what content, music, podcast, influencer, any given character is super into. I couldn't crack this one, but whenever Phil goes psycho mode, he definitely goes to some dark places in the internet. I can't quite figure out what it is, but I hope that you did.
I just think he would have gotten on a lot of like almost into some red pill streamers.
Yes.
Some guys who are doing some conspiracy theory.
That's what I'm thinking too, like where he's searching for the answer out there that like nobody else gets.
Yeah.
I didn't quite want to go like he gets in a QAnon, but like that's the direction that my brain goes.
So the one that I was like, oh, for sure is Mark Avery. That guy loves him some DMX.
Yeah. Well, he makes it clear.
That's what he's jamming in his headphones before the game.
Yeah.
Is DMX.
Yeah. Cool. You got any others on Rabbit Hole?
No.
All right. Long haul. How did the events of this film affect a child character's life in the long term? There's a lot of fodder here. A lot of kids in this movie. I went with Hunter, the kid who eats the worms.
I did too.
Really?
Yeah.
he is going to be visiting a gut floor doctor at some point in his life. I don't know if he's going to be a case study in the positive effects of like
grub
whole
eating.
food. Yeah, whole natural.
He's a Timon and Pumbaa diet.
Yeah, exactly. Or if he's just absolutely ruined for life.
Okay, so that's so funny that we both knew Hunter's life is changed after this movie. Yeah. His life, in my mind, went way downhill after this.
Yeah.
He never re-achieved this glory because in his 11-year-old brain, because of him being able to like, hey, I'll make someone grossed out by eating this worm, and that leads to my team winning the championship.
He takes the wrong lesson from that.
Yep. He has associated in his mind, hey, I can do weird, gross things, and it, people like it when I do that. So he got into,
talk about a dark side of the internet.
Close-up magic. He got into like, hey, do you remember Shoe Nice on YouTube?
No.
Shoe Nice was this YouTuber who used to just eat the craziest things.
Yeah. So that was Hunter.
And that's Hunter. And I think a couple years down the road after this, he is maybe a high school graduate, did not go to college. He's still chasing that high of winning the soccer championship.
Yeah, he's like, it's not about grades. I know what it's like to be a champion.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Tough crowd. Who would you not want to watch this movie with?
Number one is obvious. The film snob.
Yeah.
The hey, I'm a film guy.
Yeah.
Is going to hate this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to not laugh at the jokes, and he's going to pick it apart.
Do you? I don't. Okay, yes, in theory, but also I kind of feel like the film snob is kind of coming around to this era of Apatow.
Like this was actually
where it's like, they don't do it like this anymore.
True, that could be.
Let's talk about the merits of comedy in cinema and how this is a lost art.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit of that correction going on.
Yeah, that could happen. My other ones I had were the person I think of as the Wolf of Wall Street bro.
Oh, yeah.
The kind of frat bro that's like loves American Psycho. They're going to think that they're not going to know what to do with this.
Yeah, they're laughing at all the wrong parts. Mine is actually a little bit similar. The Seth Rogen fanatic, where I was actually thinking about this, was the Judd Apatow era kind of spans from 2000-ish to like 2015.
Yeah.
But it's really two different eras. It's the Will Ferrell run, 2000s, and then the late 2000s, 2010s, where it's Seth Rogen and James Franco and that whole crew.
Yeah.
And that second one is a lot grimier. Lot more adult.
Yep.
Drugs, just grosser.
If you're super into the Hangover movies and Hot Tub Time Machine, it's probably not for you.
Yeah, you're not in. All right. Let's get into the meat. We are going to give a recap. Here's your recap, listener, if you have not watched Kicking and Screaming in a while. Kicking and Screaming is a comedy about Phil Weston, a mild-mannered dad who has always lived in the shadow of his ultra-competitive father, Buck. When Phil's son joins a struggling youth soccer team, he becomes the coach and spirals into obsessive competitiveness. Determined to beat his father, who coaches a rival team, Phil's aggressive coaching style leads to hilarious chaos, both on and off the field. Along the way, he learns the value of teamwork, humility, and putting family above winning. So, essentially what I want to talk about here, I actually feel like this movie is pretty thematically strong.
Yeah,
especially for what it is. Not that their goal was to like have something to say.
Yeah.
But it feels like it plays on the tropes of youth soccer and like what you're trying to teach kids through it in a way that I feel like is actually helpful to us.
It's not too heavy-handed, and it's very clear.
Yeah. So, listener, if you haven't been tracking with us, we are in our Greatness series, the Tim Chalamet In the Pursuit of Greatness series, where we're talking about what does it look like to attempt to be great, to do our best, to pursue greatness in life, while also having that rooted in following Jesus and the relationship between those two things. Check out the other episodes because this is definitely context to that larger conversation. But I think this movie gives us a really, really good example of what it looks like to lose sight of our ultimate goal. If our ultimate goal is to follow Jesus, doing a great job, and in the sense of the movie, winning the championship can flow from that, from a desire to serve and honor God through our actions. But whenever that becomes our ultimate goal, it becomes a really, really oppressive God for us. Yeah. Phil's whole goal in this movie is to be close to his son, to have some fun with Sam, he says. By the end, he's pushed his son away through the same exact ends that he was trying to achieve that, because he lost sight of what that foundational goal is.
Yeah. His goal is to be close to his son and to care for his son. In order to do that, he tries to help the team win, and helping the team win starts to take over and be more important than caring for his son.
Yeah.
For us, our goal is relationship with Jesus, and when you have relationship with Jesus, when you're a follower of Christ, we are encouraged to do everything with excellence, do everything for the Lord. Sometimes doing everything with excellence can kind of take precedent, and we lose sight of why we're doing that in order to have a relationship with Jesus.
Hey, Dad, I didn't know if I wanted to talk to you about Sam.
Sammy's a good boy.
Yeah. He hasn't been playing much lately, and I didn't know if
Stop right there. I agree with you. And I got some great news. He's going to get a lot more playing time now.
Dad, thanks. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Trade him to the Tigers.
You traded your own grandson?
Well, I didn't actually get anything for him. You know that cost $400?
I can't believe it.
What, you calling me a liar? I'll show you the receipt.
No, I'm talking about Sam. Why didn't you just play him more?
He is going to play more, Philly.
Yeah, for another team. You care about winning that much?
His immediate response to Buck is, do you really care about winning that much? That's his criticism of his dad, is essentially, you've lost sight of the goal. The whole point of this is for you to spend time with your grandson and with your son at the same time. And do you really, is winning really important enough to jeopardize that?
Yeah. And that conversation comes about because Buck benches his grandson.
Yeah.
Sam is on the bench. Phil is like, wow, why is winning more important than letting this kid play the sport that he wants to play? And so through that conversation, trades him to the Tigers. Phil's then talking to his son Sam about it. And he's talking about, you don't want to be that kid who thinks about what his dad does to him.
Yeah.
His heart's about to beat out of his chest.
Kid who has such suppressed rage.
I know that kid. That kid lives in this house.
Mom!
So that sets up and shows, like, he's trying to correct the error his dad did. His dad has lost sight of the goal. He's trying to connect with Sam, connect with the son, and do things differently.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He says out loud, maybe I can just have some fun with Sam. But also at the same time, he has this other goal of, or not even goal, but he has this other desire to kind of get even with his dad, to be seen by his dad in a certain way. That's there in the beginning whenever they're watching the commercial, which becomes really important at the end of the movie. But whenever they're watching the commercial for Buck Weston's whatever sporting goods.
Yeah. Hockey pucks.
Yeah. Whenever he's kind of bragging about the success of his business, and he's like, are you sure you don't want a job? And Phil pridefully is like, I have a job. Like, don't treat me like that, basically. Yeah. So he has this desire to be seen in a certain way. And that desire creeps into this other pursuit without him really even realizing it.
Yeah. And it's actually, I mean, I think part of why this movie is so good is it does feel like there is this relatability to a dad who loves sports and wants their kids to be so good at sports. The kid is just not. And that can kind of equate to approval and love from a dad who, you know, clearly relationally doesn't have the best relational skills and doesn't know how to connect with them.
Yeah.
I think it's really, Phil's whole motivation is really set up in the very first scene, where his first introduction to his dad as a baby is, you better be good at this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, you know, it's funny. It's meant to just kind of set up, you know, the whole plot of the movie, but it's actually pretty insightful. The way that it's worded, you better be good at this stuff, implies like a or else.
Yeah.
And so just his whole identity being performance based totally sets him up to be, you know, uneven. I think that is, you could probably spend a whole episode talking about that or trying to unpack. Yeah, the fact that when we are operating out of an identity of like, hey, we are loved and we're secure, therefore we can go and be great. We have God's love and approval before we were even formed, versus, hey, I need to do something to win approval. That totally changes our identity and makes me think of Proverbs 29:25. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe.
Yeah.
If you're trusting in the Lord that your identity is secure, your salvation is secure because of what Jesus did, because of his love for you, there's so many benefits that come from that versus fear of man and wanting to win someone else's approval by how you present yourself or how you perform. It's just proven to be a trap.
Yeah. Galatians 1:10 similarly says, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. And so Colossians 3:23 says, work diligently at whatever you do as though you are working for the Lord rather than for people. And so this reality exists where we want to succeed, we want to excel for God, to honor God, to bring glory to him. But Galatians 1:10 and the verse that you just referenced, if we are also trying to please people, we cannot be serving God. So I think this is probably the biggest ditch in my kind of natural wiring is like, I desire to be seen by other people as being awesome.
Yeah.
Like I really, really care what other people think of me. And so this movie gives us the example of Phil gets into coaching. He's got his initial goal. It's great. For us, we begin to pursue excellence in the name of Jesus, but also we can kind of get distracted and like, ooh, that's a nice little perk that people see me this certain way.
In fact, I don't know who I am. I took a long, hard look at myself in the mirror. You know what I saw?
What?
Nothing! My dad, he's something. I mean, I've never lived up to my dad's expectations. And to top it all up, I'm letting sand down my own side.
Hey!
Ow!
Knock it off. I don't care about that.
Why is everyone slapping me lately?
Drink the coffee. It'll make you feel better.
I don't like...
Yeah.
Good.
Picks you up. It calms you down. It's the lifeblood that drives the dreams of champions. Now, you got to tell me the problem, but if you cry, I'm out of here.
I can't do it. I can't coach. I can't beat my old man.
You can beat your dad. He's just a man. This coaching business, Paul, is tough stuff.
Phil.
Whatever. It's tough stuff. And when you lose, it all comes down on you. But listen, when you put it all together and you win, it's the greatest feeling in the world. It's like winning the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, really. Except you saddled me with a bunch of stiffs. Take me 3 years to get these guys shaped up.
I'm sorry.
But I got a good idea. Maybe we take a shortcut, stick it to your old man real good. But in order to do that, we got to get some fresh meat.
Okay.
That's when he goes into, okay, I will beat my dad. I'll win whatever it takes. His idea is to go and get Gian Piero and Massimo, the Italians who, I guess, just in the butcher shop, he's seen them kick paper around.
I had that thought that like
why does he
Mike
know?
Ditka is very in tune with his community, that he
He
knows
really
about the butcher's nephews. Yeah, what Ditka says is maybe we take a shortcut and stick it to your old man real good, but in order to do that, we need some fresh meat. And so Ditka is reframing the whole goal as we're going to stick it to your old man.
Yeah.
And that kind of lights things up for Phil too, of like, okay, that's what we're after here. You know?
Yeah. And really when anybody has a strong selfish desire, something, I'm going to stick it to them, or I'm going to, prove myself or something, it comes from an insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's always rooted in some insecurity along the way, some question they're trying to get answered.
Yeah.
And so for him, it's that feeling of inadequacy for his dad. And so because of that, I'm going to, kind of, not that he would say this, but I'm going to stop caring about my son because I need to get this question answered for me. So it's a selfish thing, and it flips his whole world. James 3:16 says, "For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice." It starts to reorder your life whenever you are trying to pursue yourself. We're created to serve the Lord and to bring him glory because he loves us and takes care of us. And when we flip that, things start to go awry.
Matthew 6:33, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Again, this idea that like it has to come in the right order. Because at this point in the movie, for Phil, he flips it to where his primary goal is to get even with the old man. It's not that Sam is no longer important to him, or he like actively is thinking, oh, he's less important than this. But he just begins to care and prioritize getting even with his dad even more than him.
Hey, Phil, I don't think that's a very good attitude. You can't talk about hurting other players.
You don't think? You don't think? I don't think you should be butting in when I'm talking to my team. You're my assistant, okay? You're supposed to back me up and go get me juice boxes when I tell you. Now go get me a juice box.
You know who you're talking to?
I'm talking to the juice box guy.
You're crazy.
I'm not crazy. I'm just thirsty.
Why don't you go to hell?
No, you go to hell. While you're there, why don't you grab me a juice box?
I'm no juice box boy, I'll tell you that.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. You're like your old man.
I'm not like my old
If
man.
it weren't for these kids, I would whip your butt.
I can take a punch.
I'm out of here. Bye-bye. I'll see you, Mr. Big Time Coach. Bye-bye.
I'm not like my old man. I'm a kind and gentle, compassionate human being with a heart as big as a lion. We'll see you later, juice box. Everyone wave goodbye to juice box. Literally wave. Do it. Parents too. Everyone wave. Okay. Guys, I only want winners out on the field. Who's a winner? I said, who's a winner? Everyone's hand should be up. Okay, everyone bring it in. Who are we?
Tigers.
What?
Tigers.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. Let's go.
That's a trip, you know that?
Move it, move it.
I think the way that plays out for us is whenever we set our mind to a goal, maybe initially our goal is, hey, I want to do this for the Lord. I want to serve him. But like in the process of pursuing that, like I think about Whiplash, whenever you're in the grind of continually growing and getting better, if your focus shifts from I am doing this for the Lord, into intimacy with Jesus is the goal, to once I achieve this, then that can become important again. That's when your behavior starts to change. Your whole life, you can't serve two masters. Your whole life is going to be centered around one or the other. And so his behavior changes. I think for us, that looks like taking advantage of people potentially, sinful tendencies, just a general lack of recognition or thought about Jesus, about our faith. And we begin to drift. And it's not an intentional choice, but it is a result of prioritizing the wrong things.
Yeah. Matthew 6:21 says, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The thing that you are seeking most, even if it's not what you're consciously seeking, but the thing that you want is going to kind of take over your desires. Right.
And so, you know, the conversation with his wife, whenever she's like, I don't even recognize you. And he's like, well, Sam needs to speak up. I can't think about every player.
Yeah.
Right.
Which comes right after it showed Sam was like, Dad, can I go in the game?
Right.
And he's like, grab some bench. And we will be right back.
Hey, listener, we just want to take a pause and say thank you for listening. We love getting to do this podcast, and it's listeners like you that make it possible for us. If you're not following us wherever you get your podcasts, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, do it. That way you can stay in the loop every time a new episode drops. If you know anybody who would love this episode or any of the other movies we've covered, don't be afraid to go ahead and share it with them. That would help us out so much, and we would really appreciate it. Thank you so much again for listening.
All right, listener, let's talk branding. Because if you want your brand to actually stand out, you need Anchor Branding Company. These guys are the pros at turning your logo into something people actually want to wear, want to use, or show off. From premium custom apparel and branded merch to eye-catching office signage or more, they do it all. And if you're thinking, I want to get my company's gear out there, but I don't want to pack a million boxes, good news. They do it all. They do everything for you. You need some uniforms? You need a swag store? You need something else? Anchor Branding Co. makes it all happen. Go to anchor-branding.com to get started today. Because if your brand is going to make some waves, you should probably have an anchor. And back to the show.
I think that those are the moments when you can tell where's your heart truly at. Is like once you start to get a little bit of success, once that the greatness begins to kind of tip in your way, how then do you respond? And so for Phil, he has this wake up call. He has this wake up call moment of Sam doesn't come to the championship game. He shows up at halftime and then he realizes, oh wow, I'm doing exactly what my dad did to me.
Yep.
And so that's the moment that he's able to snap out of that and kind of correct course. Thankfully, it's not too late. There's still time on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a scenario where he just keeps going down this path, and year after year, he becomes coach of the Tigers and does exactly what his dad did. But thankfully, the game is still going. And so he's able to correct. And yeah, I mean, they're losing at halftime because of his methods, because the Italians are worn out, because the team isn't cohesive in any way. They're able to game plan against him. He's thinking one track. There's only one way to success. Whenever he sheds this mentality of I need to win at all costs, and instead his goal becomes the most important thing is that you try your best and you have fun. And with that goal of having Sam in the game, he puts him to start the second half. His son is able to score the winning goal, and they're able to have that moment together, and he gets to win the championship too.
Yeah.
But the real goal, that's just a bonus. The real success and goal is intimacy with his son. Same for us. We may succeed, we may do well at things. Even then, our ultimate goal is intimacy with Jesus, to be closer with him. And so whether we succeed or fail doesn't ultimately totally matter, because we get him at the end of the day. We should do all we can to pursue excellence, to honor him, and as an outflow of our love for him. Like, it's not like it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter ultimately.
We had a bet you won fair and square. Good job.
Yes. Thank you.
You know, I don't say this enough, but you really stepped up. I'm proud of your son.
I appreciate that. The real Pele ball.
Yep.
I'm actually touching it.
Take good care of it. That means an awful lot to me, that ball.
Does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Here.
What?
You keep it.
Oh, you won fair and square. It's yours now. You beat me, Philly.
Well, the Tigers beat you. I mean, I had a good time kicking your butt, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not about winning. I thought it was. It's not. About you and me. You know, the ball is just a metaphor about the distance between us.
It's a soccer ball.
No, Dad. It's not about the ball. It was never about the ball. I don't want the ball.
The way that his perspective shifts is summed up at the very end. He gets the Pele ball from his dad, and he realizes it's not that important to him. Gives it back. Just like you were describing, you know, when we have that relationship with Jesus, that should be our ultimate goal, and we can have that. That's available to us. And so when we have that, nothing else matters as much. And that, I feel like, is a pretty good picture of Philippians 3:7-8 says, "But whatever gains to me, I now consider loss for the sake of Christ.
Yeah.
What is more, I consider everything a loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord, for whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them garbage that I may gain Christ."
Yep.
That sometimes when I read that verse, I don't know about you, listener, but I'm like a little confused by like, okay, how is my gain considered lost kind of thing? And I feel like it's really a good picture of it with the Pele ball.
Yeah.
Of like, he really wanted to win that ball because of what that ball symbolized to him. That ball meant, you know, that he'd kind of proved himself to his dad. When he remembered oh, I have my own son. My goal is a relationship with my son, to care for him.
Yeah.
Then the ball doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this was kind of this, symbolic thing that I was after. I have the thing that truly matters. Therefore, getting this ball kind of means nothing. I can give it back.
Yeah.
I can now, show more love to my dad because I have my ultimate goal of my family.
And I think it is this healing of his perspective and goals that he thought that getting the Pele ball would make his dad see him in this new kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, it's a reframing of his goal is to be unified with his dad. Like he wants that relationship to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
And so he realizes, okay, the ball's actually worthless. It's meaningless. But what isn't worthless and meaningless is this relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
And I love that verse that you just gave of this did mean everything to him,
Mm-hmm.
but then he realizes he has this perspective shift that, oh no, this actually doesn't matter. And so instead, he uses that leverage to get the job with his dad,
Mm-hmm.
which he rejected in the beginning of the movie before the coaching thing even happened. And so it heals this damage that's been there all along. It's not like it's new from the course of the movie. It's like that distance was always there.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this experience and him realizing what really matters, their family is able to be more unified. And I think that just looks a lot like us whenever Jesus is our ultimate goal. What flows out of us is love, unity, just all life-giving and awesome things. Success can be one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever any of that becomes the ultimate goal and not relationship with Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
then we kind of turn into monsters like Phil a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Love it. An all-timer from Will. Also kind of made me excited for my kids to be at the age of playing sports and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know
You got
why,
excited
but
to
I was
sew
like,
yourself a tiger
"Ooh, this
jacket?
seems fun. Watching Josh Hutcherson bob and weave and score that goal. I was like, ooh, it's going to be my kid.
Buck, Bucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does seem fun. That will be a fun time.
Yeah, it is.
It's a movie that feels like it was lost to time,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we're picking it back up and bringing it to the top of people's minds.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and on Instagram at The Credits Podcast. If you know someone who would love this episode, go ahead and shoot it to them in a text. If it doesn't brighten their day, it'll certainly brighten ours.